I want you to watch someone for a second. No words, no context. Just a person sitting across from you in a meeting. Arms crossed, jaw slightly tight, eyes moving to the door every few seconds. Now, what is that person feeling? Most people would say defensive, closed off, maybe angry. And they might be right. Or that person just came in from a cold hallway and their back hurts. That's the problem with how most people learn body language. They learn a gesture, they learn what it supposedly means, and then they walk around reading everyone like a cheap psychology book, confident, certain, and wrong half the time. Crossed arm means closed off, avoiding eye contact means lying, touching your face means nervous, except it doesn't. Not always, not even most of the time, because the human body is not a dictionary. You can't look up one gesture and get one meaning. So, why does body language matter at all? Because when you stop looking for single gesture and start looking for patterns, everything changes. That shift is what separates someone who visually notices body language from someone who actually reads people. And that's exactly what today is about. Not a list of gestures to memorize, a real framework, the kind that lets you walk into any room, watch any person, and understand what is actually going on beneath the words. Let's get into it. Firstly, we will discuss about the why most people read body language wrong. Here is the mistake everyone makes. They learn that crossed arm means defensive, leaning back means disengaged, looking left means lying. So they spot one single and think, got it. I know exactly what's happening. But here is what they missed. That person crosses their arms because it's a habit since childhood. They lean back because the chair is uncomfortable. They look left because here is a window and the light is nice. One gesture means nothing on its own. This is called the isolation error. You pull one single out of everything the body is doing and build an entire conclusion on it. It feels like insight. It's actually just assumption dressed up as observation. The people who read body language well, therapists, negotiators, detectives, they never lock onto one thing. They watch everything, they look for clusters, they look for changes because a single gesture is just noise. But three signals pointing in the same directions, that's a pattern. And patterns tell the truth. The foundation, what to actually look for. Before you can read anyone, you need a baseline. A baseline is simply how a person behaves when nothing is happening, when they are relaxed, when there is no pressure, when they are just being themselves. Without a baseline, you have nothing to compare to. If someone always taps their foot, that's just who they are. It means nothing. But But if someone who never taps their foot suddenly start tapping in the moment a specific topic comes up, that's an emotion. The change is the signal, not the behavior itself. So before you try to read anyone, spend the first few minutes just watching, not analyzing, just noticing how they say it, how they gesture, how often they make eye contact. That becomes your map. Everything that deviates from that map is worth paying attention to. Three things to baseline every time: body position, facial expressions, and vocal patterns. Not just what they say, how they say it, speed, pitch, pauses. Because the body and the voice together tell a story that words alone never will. Now, the real stuff. Not a list of gestures, a breakdown of the four emotional states the body most commonly reveals, and the clusters of signals that point to each one. State 1: Comfort. Comfortable people take up space, shoulder relaxed, movement slow and open, expression match what they are saying right on time. Not a second before, not a second after. And watch the feet. Feet are one of the most honest parts of the body. They point where the person actually wants to go. Feet facing you. They are present, feet angled toward the door, part of them already left. That one detail alone will change how you read every room. State 2, discomfort. Discomfort shows up before the person is even aware of it. Watch for self shoot. State 2, discomfort. Discomfort shows up before the person is even aware of it. Watch for self soothing, touching the neck, rubbing the arms, playing with the watch. These are unconscious attempts to calm down. The body doing for itself what it can't ask anyone else to do. Watch for barriers. Crossed arms, a bag on the lap, a drink held with both hands in front of the chest. The body creates distance when it feels unsafe. Watch for tension. Jaw tightening, shoulders rising toward the ears, lips pressing together. Teeny signals, easy to miss, impossible to fake your way out of. Once you start seeing discomfort, you will realize how when people are feeling it silently. Straight 3, deception. Deception doesn't look like obvious nervousness. Practice liars are often calmer than truth tellers because they have rehearsed. What deception actually looks like is inconsistency. The words say one thing, the face say another. The smile comes half a second too late. The emotional expression fades too quickly. Watch for micro expression, flashes of true emotion that last less than a second before the control phase take over. They appear and disappear faster than a blink, but they are there. And watch for over control. Natural people fidget a little. Someone who goes completely still while speaking is often spending energy on something other than what they are saying. Deception is not loud, it's just slightly off. And once you know what off looks like, you will feel it before you can even explain it. State 4, genuine interest. Real interest is the easiest to spot and the most satisfying. Pupils dilate, the body leans in without the person realizing. Mirror begins. They start matching your posture, your pace, your gesture, not on purpose. It happens automatically when two people are genuinely connecting. Their questions get specific, their responses come faster, and they face you fully. Body, eyes, feet, all pointed at you. When someone is genuinely interested, their whole body says it before their mouth does. How to use this in real life? Reading body language is not about catching people out, it's about understanding what's actually happening. So you can respond to the real things, not just the surface. Someone goes quiet in a meeting, you notice tension in their shoulders, lip pressed together. You don't call them out, you create space. You ask an open question, you give them a way in. A friend says they are fine, but arms are folded tight, voices flat, no eye contact. You don't push, you stay close, you let them know you are there. A stranger in a negotiation leans back and looks away. You don't assume the worst. You shift your approach, you watch what happens next. Body language gives you information, what you do with it. That's the real skill. The one rule that changes everything. One rule, the most important one. Always look for the cluster, never judge on one signal alone. One crossed arm, meaningless. Crossed arm plus jaw tension plus feet angled away plus shorter responses. That's a cluster. That means something. And always consider the context. A person crying at a funeral and a person crying at a wedding are doing the same thing with completely different meanings. The gesture only makes sense inside the situation. Read the cluster, read the context. Stay curious instead of certain. Because the moment you think you have completely figured out someone out, you stop paying attention. And that's exactly when you miss the most important thing you are trying to tell you. Here's what I want you to do after this. Pick one conversation today, just one, and instead of focusing entirely on what's being said, spend half your attention on what is not being said. Watch the baseline, notice the changes, look for the clusters. You don't need to analyze, you don't need to conclude, just notice. Because reading people is not about being clever, it's about being present in a way that most people never are. And when you get good at it, people feel it. They don't know why, they just like you actually see them. There is no faster way to build trust than that.